You ever wake up, grind through the day, and still feel like you're running in place? Like no matter how hard you push, the big wins stay just out of reach? That's not you being lazy. That's most people missing the one switch billionaires flip in their heads to spot opportunities everyone else swears don't exist. Today we're diving straight into how they reprogram their minds for that edge in a chill, real way that actually sticks. Picture this. You're scrolling your feed, coffee going cold, and you see another post about some guy who turned a side hustle into millions. You think, cool story, but that can't be me. Wrong. The difference isn't luck or secret handshakes, it's a quiet shift in how they see the world. And by the end of this chat, you'll start seeing it too. Let's kick off with the moment that changes everything, the tiny choice you make before your feet hit the floor. Most folks open their eyes and immediately drown in yesterday's problems, emails, bills, that argument from last night. Their brain locks into survival mode, scanning for threats instead of openings. Billionaires? They wake up asking one question that rewires the whole day. What if today hides something nobody else notices? Sounds simple, right? But try it tomorrow. Before you grab your phone, pause for 10 seconds and hunt for one thing that could be an opportunity in disguise. Maybe the traffic jam forces you to listen to that podcast. Maybe the annoying coworker drops a hint about a market gap. The point is, they train their minds to default to possibility, not panic. I remember chatting with a buddy who cleans pools for a living. Regular guy, steady paycheck, nothing fancy. One morning he's scraping leaves and notices half his clients complaining about the same cheap filter breaking. Everyone sees a hassle. He sees a product. 6 months later, he's selling an upgraded version online. Pulling 6 figures. Same pools, same people, different lens. That's the first layer, flipping from why me to what's here. But here's where it gets wild. Even when you start looking, your brain fights back with old stories. That's too risky. I don't have the time. Someone smarter already tried. Those voices aren't protection. They're prison guards. And this leads us to the first big lesson almost nobody wants to hear. So you're standing there, eyes open to possibilities, but those old voices keep yelling louder than the opportunity. Billionaires don't win by ignoring them. They rewrite the script entirely. They treat doubt like background noise in a crowded airport. It's there, but it doesn't stop the flight. The trick is feeding your mind a new default story until the old one sounds ridiculous. Think about the last time you talked yourself out of something good. Maybe it was reaching out to that contact, launching the idea, or even asking for the raise. You ran the disaster movie in your head. Rejection, embarrassment, wasted effort. That's your brain doing its ancient job, keeping you safe in the cave. Problem is, the cave is gone, and the saber-toothed tigers are now just emails. Here's what the elite do instead. They play a different movie, one where the upside is vivid and the downside is boring. Not fake positivity, real rehearsal. Elon doesn't wake up dreaming of rocket explosions. He dreams of the colony on Mars, then works backward to make the explosions unlikely. Same with you. Before you pitch the client, see the signed contract, the extra cash flow, the doors it opens. Feel it like it's already done. Your nervous system can't tell the difference, and suddenly risk feels like next logical step. I saw this flip a waitress I know into a real estate investor. She was saving tips, terrified of buying her first duplex. Everyone told her prices were too high. Tenants were nightmares. Instead of arguing, she spent 10 minutes every shift close visualizing the closing table. The rent checks hitting her account. The freedom of quitting when she wanted. 6 months later, she owned the building. The market didn't change. Her movie did. But wait. There's a catch. You can visualize all day, yet if your environment keeps feeding the old fear, you're fighting upstream. That's why the next move isn't just in your head, it's in who you let in your ear. And this pulls us to the second big lesson most people dodge like it's radioactive. You've got the new movie rolling in your head, the upside feels real, and you're ready to move. Then you tell your best friend, your spouse, maybe your group chat. Within 30 seconds, the air, the doubts, the yeah but avalanche hits. Suddenly, your fire's down to embers. Billionaires don't fight that battle alone. They build a circle that speaks the same language. It's not about ditching everyone who loves you. It's about curating the 5 voices you hear most. One entrepreneur I know keeps a private Slack with 4 other founders. No family, no employees, just peers who've done 8-figure exits. When he floats an idea, the first reply is never, "That'll never work." It's, "How do we pressure test this in 72 hours? That single channel rewires his risk meter faster than any book or seminar. Start smaller if you need to. Find one person who's already living the next level you want. Doesn't have to be a billionaire. Could be the coworker who quietly flipped 3 Airbnbs, or the neighbor running a subscription box pulling $50K a month. Buy them coffee, ask one sharp question, then shut up and take notes. One conversation like that is worth 50 motivational reels. I watched a graphic designer do exactly this. She was stuck at $40K a year, pitching logos for peanuts, joined a tiny Discord of designers charging premium for brand systems. First week she lurked. Second week she asked, "What's the dumbest objection clients throw at 5-figure packages?" The answers became her new script. 30 days later she closed her first 12K brand deal. Same skills, new room. Here's the part people skip. You have to protect the signal. Mute the group chats that drag you backward. Set your phone to do not disturb from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Delete apps that serve endless doom. Your attention is the soil. Garbage in, garbage grows. Guard it like it's the last clean water on earth. And speaking of protection, there's a daily ritual, the ultra-wealthy run, that sounds insane until you try it. It takes 90 seconds and turns chaos into clarity. This carries us to the third big lesson nobody advertises on the highlight reels. You've cleaned the soil, planted the right voices, and the new movie is playing on loop. Now the day hits you with its usual chaos. Kid needs lunch money, boss drops a fire drill, inbox looks like a war zone. 99% of people let the noise win and the vision fades by lunch. The 1% run a 90-second reset that keeps the signal crystal. Here's exactly what it looks like. Phone in airplane mode. Feet flat on the floor. Eyes closed. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Do it 3 times. Then ask one question out loud. What is the single move today that makes everything else easier or unnecessary? Don't overthink. The first answer that pops is usually the winner. Write it on a sticky note, slap it on your monitor, and treat it like the only task that matters until it's done. A software sales rep I know was drowning in 50 cold calls a day. Zero traction. He started the 90-second reset every morning in his car before walking into the office. First week the answer was, "Call the VP who ghosted me last quarter." He did. She picked up. Closed a $250,000 deal by Friday. Same list, same script, different priority. The ritual works because it hijacks physiology. Slow breath drops cortisol. The question hijacks focus. Suddenly the urgent shrinks and the important screams. Do it for 30 days and your brain starts hunting that one move automatically, like a heat-seeking missile for leverage. But leverage only cashes if you stack wins fast enough to outrun doubt. That's where the next layer clicks in, turning every result into rocket fuel, good or bad. And this slides us into the fourth big lesson most gurus save for the $50,000 mastermind. Speaking of stacking wins, if you're still here soaking this up and you want more breakdowns like this dropped straight into your feed, hit that subscribe button real quick. It tells the algorithm to keep the good stuff coming and keeps me fired up to record these late night rants. Cool? Cool. Now, back to the fuel. Alright, you've got the reset, the circle, the daily priority locked in. Now every outcome, win or loss, becomes raw material. Most people treat a setback like a funeral. Billionaires treat it like data in a lab. The faster you extract the lesson, the faster you compound. The ritual is brutal in its simplicity. After any result, ask 3 questions on the spot. What worked? What didn't? What's the one tweak for next time? Answer in 1 sentence each, then move. No essays, no therapy, just iteration. I watched a dropshipping kid lose 50 grand on a bad ad campaign. His buddies mourned for weeks. He spent 11 minutes on the 3 questions, killed the losing ads, doubled down on the 2 creatives that converted, and had the money back plus 20% in 18 days. Same product, same market, tighter loop. Stack enough of those loops and momentum becomes physics. Doubt can't keep up with velocity. That's when the opportunities everyone else swears don't exist start waving at you from the sidewalk. The supplier who never discounts suddenly offers 30% off because you asked at the exact moment their slow season hit. The investor who never takes cold emails replies in 6 minutes because your subject line mirrored the pain point he tweeted about yesterday. Coincidence? Nope. Pattern recognition on steroids. Here's the full circle. The morning question trained your filter, the circle trained your confidence, the reset trained your focus, and the 3-question loop trained your speed. Put them together and you're not hoping for luck, you're engineering it. The same world, same rules, different operating system. One last story to glue it all. I know a single mom who started with a part-time cleaning gig. She ran the 90-second reset in the laundry room between loads. First answer. Ask the richest client if she knows anyone who needs weekly deep cleans. She did. Got 3 referrals. Used the 3 questions after each job to raise rates $10 an hour without losing a single client. 18 months later, she owns the company, employs 6 crews, and hasn't touched a mop in a year. Same houses, same people, different lens. See how the morning hunt connects to the circle's confidence, to the reset's clarity, to the loop's speed. You don't need a trust fund or a genius IQ. You need the system running long enough for the compound interest of decisions to kick in. Start with one piece tomorrow. Miss a day, restart the next. The only failure is quitting the loop. If any of this clicked and you actually made it to the end, drop "I'm in" the comments. I read every single one, and it's the quickest way to tell me you're ready to flip the switch. You deserve the view from the top. The path is quieter than you think. Remember, the opportunity isn't hiding. Your filter was. Change the filter, change the feed, change the life. Small choice, big fire. Go light it.